I've been doing a lot of reflection lately, specifically on the path that I'm walking, why I chose to walk with Destiny. And one of the points that comes up quite a lot in discussions that I have with other people, especially with buddies who are going through a particularly difficult time, is the point of we learn how to face things and we learn how to face ourselves. And what comes from that is we enable ourselves and empower ourselves to be able to better help other people. And why I say that this is particularly useful in situations where people are going through like a rough time is that even though life is crap and life is difficult a lot of the time and people do terrible, cruel things and we have to face the consequences of other people's actions and things like that, there is a, let's call it a silver lining, in that once you get to a point of saying, okay, I want to change how I'm experiencing myself, I want to change how I deal with the world, I want to change how I deal with myself and with the issues that I'm facing, and you come onto along and find a process like Destiny, where you learn what tools you can use to help yourself. You can't undo what was done, but you can learn how to effectively deal with it. And once I know how to face something, once I know how to change myself within a point, I'm going to be much better capable of helping someone else. An example of this is I used to get very angry. I used to have quite a temper. And I had no qualms with shouting at people and making it known that I was not impressed with something or with someone. And as I decided over time more and more solidly within myself that, you know what, I actually don't like this about myself. I don't want to keep being angry. I don't want to keep being this way. I walked a process of facing myself within my anger and changing it. And because I walked that process, I know it can be done. I know that we can change something like anger because I've done it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't ever come up within me anymore, but I don't have those moments. I don't want to say ever, but I haven't in a very long time had a moment where I was completely overwhelmed by anger, where I was in a state where I couldn't control myself or what I said or what I was doing, things like that. I haven't been that severe or extreme in ages, and that's something that I know that I built up and developed within myself because I've been developing better ways to deal with situations where I would get angry before. I have better ways to deal with that anger when it comes up. So it doesn't get to a point where it's overwhelming. It doesn't get to that stage where I can't deal with myself or I can't deal with the emotion. So I speak with confidence when I'm speaking with someone about how to deal with anger. I can speak with confidence that it can be changed because I've done it. And obviously, we're not all going to face every single different construct and pattern and emotional issue in existence. But the ones that we do face, and like I said in the beginning, especially those ones where it's really, really hard stuff to face, especially where it's things that were done to you, and you now have to find a way to deal with what was done, what you experienced, because that's a reality in this world, because it's a reality for so many people that so many of us don't have choice in what happens to us in the lives that we're born into. Being able to support ourselves to deal with these situations differently and empower ourselves to actually change within that, and despite it, that's something that the more people who recognize that, the more we can actually really change humanity and therefore change the world. Because what are we if we are not a collection of individuals who have each been shaped in many different ways by the other people and the circumstances that we are born into and come into contact with? So we need to learn how to cope with and to deal with and to rise above all the different challenges that come in our lives. Because until we really significantly change the nature of humanity, these things are going to keep happening, and people are going to keep being put into situations that are not nice, that are awful, that create nightmares and post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that. So we this is why this is something that helps in those moments where you think to yourself, what's the point? Where you think it's too much, it's too difficult. Sometimes the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to stop thinking about ourselves and to think about what we can do for other people. And maybe, sure, you might not be in a place right now where you can support someone else, but you can make that part of your goals of, I want to change, I want to help myself to get stronger, to deal with this better, so that I can help others, because now I have experienced it and I know how to deal with it. I can be of help, I can be of assistance, I can make a difference for other people. And that's part of the whole process that we walk with destiny. It's also part of why we share our processes publicly in blogs and videos, to show this is how I've changed myself, this is what I've learned about myself. Maybe you can learn from me. Okay, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to support me, you can do that on Patreon or on Steemit. And if you have any questions or comments, you can send a direct message or leave a comment on the video or on the page, and I will reply to you, most likely, because I don't really get a lot of comments. It makes me quite sad. Anyway, until next time, bye.